everybody. This is Molly with the dog gym, and I am with Joel Dietz. Did I say your last name correctly? All right, we got that. And basically, I'm going to call Joel a puppy coach, and we are just going to talk a little bit about puppies today. Joel has raised pugs and flat-coated retrievers for the past 25 years, and he has shown flat-coated retrievers to championships, I guess you would say. I might not say it all correctly. You're welcome to correct me.
No, you got it.
But what we wanted to do today was just spend a few minutes talking to Joel about puppies. So, Joel, why don't we just start with maybe, what do you think is the number one thing everybody should know when they get a puppy?
I'm going to give you two things.
Okay.
Patience and consistency.
Patience, and we know patience is important. Okay, and consistency, elaborate a little more on that, on what, when you say consistency, what should they be consistent with?
Yeah, so all these things are interrelated. Crate training, which has a lot of myths about it, a lot of them are wrong. Both crate training and then consistency with getting your puppy out frequently to go potty outside. It seems obvious, but a lot of people don't understand that puppies, they have very small bladders. They need to go very frequently. And habits can be formed, the good habits can be formed early on by setting your puppy up for success. So think about consistency about getting every time they pee and poo, getting it outside where you want it, not inside your home. So much of potty training is really just accident prevention as opposed to accident correction.
Correct, so like getting ahead of the potty.
For sure.
So, yeah. And I know I've heard in the past, and one rule of thumb is that it's 1 hour for every month, up to about 6 months of age. Would you agree? So like maybe if they're 3 months, they need to potty every 3 hours. If they're 4 months, every 4 hours.
Yeah, I mean, and so much of it is really determined by your dog. When you have a new puppy, you'll within a few days, and as time progresses, you'll see what their pattern is so that you can set them up for success. I generally target for a 4-month-old puppy to work up to being crated for the better part of a work day. If you work outside your home and you can't be home during the day. But when you have a very young puppy, correct, you have to be able to make arrangements for either you getting home or somebody else getting home to take that puppy out to potty. And then what you do is you get closer to 4 months, you gradually work them up. So if you're coming home, say at 11, 12 o'clock for a midday break, then as they get closer to 4 months, you start coming home a little bit later. So they hold it just a little bit longer until you get to the point where they're comfortable holding it for your work day.
And what would you say to the puppy parents, because there'll probably be a lot watching on here, that did not do it correct in the beginning, and now let's say they have a 7-month or 8-month-old puppy and it's still pottying in the house?
Yeah. So the most important thing you have to get right away is you need to make peace with, get a new relationship with crating. Crating is not cruel. Puppies and dogs have a natural affinity for a little safe place. And they're born with that. The whelping box already is their safe place. So they're naturally inclined to take to and adapt to whatever they learn is their new little safe space. And what happens is we bring puppies home, and if you're uncomfortable with crating and you choose not to crate your puppy, then you're kind of giving up on what's already instinctive and inherently instinctive to that puppy. So it's not too late to get back to it. But if you've had a puppy that spent 6, 8, 12 weeks not having its own little safe place, like a crate, it's not too late. You reintroduce it. And the easiest way to do this is you feed absolutely every meal inside the crate. If your crate is in the bedroom, that's okay. Feed meals in the bedroom. If your crate is downstairs, feed meals downstairs. So what you do, you leave the crate open, you put the meal all the way back in the crate, leave the door open so the puppy doesn't have to feel like it's shut in. Anything that the puppy is doing while eating is reinforcing. And you'll notice within 2-3 weeks, if you're very consistent, going back to what I said earlier, you will have a puppy that gets gradually more and more comfortable with the crate, and then you can experiment with closing the door for a little bit while they're eating. Throw treats into the crate. Just throw a handful of treats in the crate with the puppy not even knowing that you did it, and let the puppy kind of discover a surprise. There's treats in the crate.
Yeah, and I do think with the older puppies that have not had the crate experience, having the patience of kind of starting over and not shutting the crate for 2 weeks, just putting their food in there and just working through that time. I think sometimes we rush stuff and then we're frustrated.
Yeah.
And we lose our patience, like you said, is very
Yes.
important to have with puppies. So, well, that's all great knowledge, great information, and I know there's a lot more you could share with us about crate training. And Joel will be hosting some puppy question answer sessions at the dog gym. So if you have a puppy that either you're just starting off with, or you're about to get a puppy, or you started off wrong and you need a coach to help reset you, that is what Joel is here to do. So watch for our next puppy class, or what are we calling that? Question and answer class?
Yeah.
Call it a question and answer class with Joel, and get all your puppy questions answered. Joel, is there any last thing you would like to say to everybody?
It's never too late. So hit the reset button, get good habits in place, and don't be afraid to try doing something different, because what you're doing now may not be working.
Right. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in, and until next time, have fun with that puppy and be consistent and have patience.